What's up, everybody? This is Brian back with another deck profile. What do I got for you right now? Dinomist. Before we get started, I know it's been a while, and I know that I said I had cores and stuff. Well, you'll see this, and you'll see my Galaxy Eyes deck once it's near done or it is done. Alright, without further ado, let's go Dinomist. Alright, Brachion. Now, these are machine water monsters, and their pendulum effect is once while this card is in the pendulum zone, you can negate an activated card effect that targets another Dinomist card or cards you control, then destroy it. A few cards have this ability, and they also have a monster ability. If you do not control Dinomist Brachion in your monster card zone, and your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, even if it's tied, you can special this from hand. And that's really good for setting up plays when you want to exceed summon or possibly synchro summon if you have water tuners. Next up we have Ceratops. Now he has the same pendulum effect. Most, if not all, the Dinomist have the first pendulum effect. And Ceratops and Brachion have the same ability to be special summoned from hand. So that's a plus. You only run 2 of each, because having too many is cloggy. Now you have 3 Rex and 3 Spinos. Spinos, its pendulum ability differs a little bit. If your Dinomist would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy this card instead. And its monster effect is you can tribute another Dinomist and either attack directly, or it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Now that's also handy because this being mostly pendulums, you can just pendulum summon and just go for direct attacks. But see, I did a little bit of a twist with Dinomist. Dinomist Rex. You want to run 3 of him too. And what he does is once while this card is in your pendulum zone, you can negate an activated card effect that targets another Dinomist card or cards and destroy that. This just stops cards at target. And its monster effect is if this card attacks at the end of the damage step, I can tribute another Dinomist monster to either make it a second attack and inflicts pierce, or shuffle a card from your opponent's hand or your side or their side of the field into the deck, and this card gains 100. So you mostly want it for its second ability to shuffle. Stegosaurus. And if another pendulum monster you control battles an opponent's monster after damage calc, you can destroy the monsters, which means he auto-kills monsters if another pendulum monster battles. That's very great against, like, stall decks. Dinomist Plesio acts like a Burden of the Mighty. Your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack for every Dinomist card you control. So, and also negates cards that target. So, Petran. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add a Dinomist card from your deck to hand. Also, this is pretty much the Dinomist version of Shura, the Blue Flame, essentially. I gotta say, out of all the level 4 monsters in this deck, this is probably the best. Ankylos. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with a Dinomist monster, which means when you're special summoning and you're using your higher level dinos, or your Dinomist, you can use this to just banish and banish. Unless they're playing like Triple D or they're playing like old banish or macros. Now, I did a little bit of a twist and added penguin soldiers. And as most of you guys know, this card bounces 2 monsters. That's really good because, obviously, water deck. water pendulums. This is for spell and trap destruction. You tribute it, blow up a spell or trap, which is Deep Sweeper. Spells. Dinomist Charge. What this card does is when this card is activated, add a Dinomist monster from your deck to hand. Once per turn, if a Dinomist card or cards is added from your field to your extra deck face up, add one of those cards to your hand. So pretty much they go from your extra deck to your hand with this card. This card is in a different language because I got some of the cards and when I first got the deck. It's called Dinomist Power Load. All Dinomist monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. If a Dinomist monster you control battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects till the end of the damage step. Pretty much your Ancient Gear monster effect. Sea Lord's Amulet. And what it does is send this card to the graveyard during your opponent's third end phase after activation. Water monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So even more added protection because of its attribute. And instead of going off its getting support for its type, I got support for its attribute. You want to run 2 to 3 Moria of Greeds. I don't know where my other one's at, but it returns 2 water monsters from your hand to your deck and draw 3. In case you draw the higher level Dinomist that you don't want in hand. And then Salvage. This brings back water monsters from the grave. And it's just in case you don't want them in grave. Instead of like Jar of Avarice, you could just bring them back. Traps. Dinomist Eruption. I don't see a lot of players play this, but it's really good. If a Dinomist monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a card your opponent controls, destroy it. Even though it targets a card. Now if it said monster or a specific card, then I can understand not running it. Dinomist Rush. What this card does, special summon a Dinomist monster from your deck, and if you do, it is unaffected by other card effects, also destroyed during the end phase. That's the only drawback to this card, is it destroys it during the end phase, but you can use like your Pendulum monster to stop this, like stop your monster from being destroyed. And Dinomist Howling. I thought about cutting this to 2, but when this card is activated, you can place 1 or 2 Dinomist Pendulum monster or monsters from your deck to your Pendulum Zone, but you cannot Pendulum summon monsters to the end of the next turn, except Dinomist monsters, even if this card leaves field. Once per turn, if this card is already face up in your spell and trap card zone, you can tribute a Dinomist monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand, which means more balancing power, and it helps you Pendulum summon your Dinomists. Originally, I built the fish deck with Deep Sea King Coelacanth, but I took it apart and I threw Dinomist together. So I have a deck of each attribute now. Extra deck, you want 3 of this guy because he blows up spells and traps. It's full armored Black Ray Lancer. And he gains 200 for each Xyz material attached to him. If he would be destroyed, I can detach all the Xyz materials instead. When he destroys a monster by battle, you can target a spell and trap and destroy it. You want to run 3 of him. Number 73, Abyss Splash. He's really handy because once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach an Xyz material, double this card's attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Any battle damage is halved. So essentially, he's like kind of like Excalibur in a way, but also take a side note that some of these cards you will not be able to make unless you run level 6s or pendulum 6s. You won't be able to make numbers C73, Abyss Splash, Super Splash. You won't be able to make him, nor will you be able to make full armored Crystalline Zero Lancer. However, you will be able to make because there's mostly level 5s in here. Number 94, Crystal Zero. And Tri-Edge Levia. And what number 94 does is during either player's turn, target a face-up monster, its attack becomes half its current attack to the end of your turn. So it like cuts the attack in half. That's it for Dinomist. Hit like or subscribe. And I'll have the Galaxy Eyes deck profile up as soon as I can. I need a lot for the deck, so it may be a while before I can get it up. Alright, catch you on the flip side.